Hello, the internet, and welcome back to another episode of Dbacks Dispatch. We are your hosts, Gabriel and Brandon, and today we're going to be breaking down the Giant series, the series win. By the way, the first series win in quite a while. I think they've been either tying and
We did beat the
that-
Mets. That wasn't that long
okay.
ago.
No, it's like
Everyone forgets about that, by the way. We actually won that series
I think it's
in New
because
York.
we lost the next one. I think.
Correct. Yeah.
You kind of just forget about it. All right. But anyway, so this is your first time. Welcome on in, and everybody in the comments. We'll get to you guys in a second. Appreciate everyone in the chat. And if you're listening to on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast, be sure to rate and review. This is your first time on our YouTube channel. Please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss another episode. Check out our Twitter, Discord, TikTok, Instagram. We are all over the place at Dbacks Dispatch, and check out our written content on AZ Snake Pit. The TikTok is still a work in progress. We're getting our videos taken down by salty Dodger fans.
Dude, they were freaking I was like, it happens. It's so easy to trigger them on social media.
Yeah. So just quickly, we posted. Our producer Josh made a really nice graphic about there's the LA logo, but we saw it, with the caption "Leave Arizona" for the LA, and yeah, I got taken down for TikTok for bullying. So we're trying to get it back up, and we're gonna try to whether it's shirts or stickers, try to get some of that merch up on Redbubble, but just some copyright issues. But anyways, this series, they were able to come out of San Francisco with the series win. They're 22-20, like they're the 500 record fears the Arizona Diamondbacks because they just refuse to have a 500 record on the season. But just first, Brandon, what are your overall thoughts on the series? What stood out to you? What do you feel? Do you think this could have been a sweep, or do you think it could have been a series loss even?
It definitely could have been a series loss. Especially with game 3. I was to be honest, the way that ninth inning was going, I'm like, yeah, this team is just gonna lose this. So Tuesday, like I thought we started off really hot. So I was like, oh my, we're gonna take against Robbie Ray, because that was the one game where I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna beat Robbie Ray because he seems to be on top of it this year. So we started hot, and then freaking Monday, Merrill Kelly. Like you couldn't place the ball any better with some of the just pitches he was doing on Monday. Like I was like, I know, like this series, like it's a series win, and for the most part, it felt good. But there were definitely some moments where I'm like, no, it's still this same team we've seen all year. They don't put full games together. It feels like still.
Yeah, and I guess so it's gonna be the problem with early season struggles. I mean, we're about 42 games in. That's about a fourth of the season, so we're 25% of the way through the season. And we talk about it being early at times, but if we're 50% into the season and they're still having these issues, I think there's a lot that has to happen in order for this team to become, a true World Series contender. And as of right now, the way they've been playing, it just, it's frustrating. But I do think there's a lot that they can improve on, and a lot they have been improving on, which we'll get to as the show goes on. But first of all, I want to acknowledge the chat. Scott is in the chat. Red Sox Nation, Tanner, Corbin Barrels, B. Joel. Some great comments in here. Scott says Erod unfit to be in the rotation. That is something we're going to discuss, especially when it comes to the third game. If we feel that Erod's time in the rotation might be up, if it might just be time to put Ryan Nelson there. And he's asking if J-Mart is really back on this weekend. I believe he should be eligible to come off of the 15-day IL this week.
Keyword there is eligible. Doesn't mean that he is. Because there really hasn't been much that came out since Sunday where I don't know if it was a bullpen session before the game on Sunday, but he was throwing and they said he looked sizzling. But that's really
Yeah.
all we've gotten. So I don't know if he's gonna come back this weekend. I don't think we're gonna need him personally, so maybe wait till Monday, but we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm assuming just because it is the Rockies and we can get to it at the end of when we do the series preview, but it is the Rockies and hopefully this team should be able to finally tee off of a team because they just finished a 16 games in 16 days stretch where they finished 8-8. That's 500 record. I feel they could have
I
done a little bit
I
better,
said,
but
yeah, I said if they could be 500 in that stretch, we'd be okay. I mean, we didn't gain any ground, but we didn't lose any ground, which I think a lot of people thought like with this stretch, like we were gonna be under 500. So it was great to see that we didn't really lose ground. And again, we're 5 games back in the division. It's still mid-May. That's plenty of time to make up that ground, especially because before last Thursday, we hadn't played a divisional game. We have a winning record in the division right now. So
yeah. So
I'll
I think
I'll take that for now.
the key is progress, and that's what you always want to see with the team is the progress. Are they making progress? Are certain key guys making progress? And so right now, there are some who are. The fact that they've been flip flopping on wins and losses for the last 12 games, I believe.
It's so
Uh,
ridiculous.
it doesn't inspire too much confidence. But anyways, let's get back to the series at hand, which is the Giant series. Game one, we finally got all the confirmation. We released the episode about Jordan Lawler getting a call up. He didn't play in this game. A lot of fans were upset about that. I understood why on both sides. I understood why people were upset,
I
but
did.
also like he's played 6 games in a row, and Mondays are being off days for the minor leaguers anyway. So I could understand why he got the day off. But the two big key players in this game is Corbin Carroll, who was the entire offense of this game. He had 2 home runs, just destroyed the ball. And there was some controversy with a Josh Naylor triple, which they turned into a ground rule double, even though is it Jung Hoo Lee? Is that who's on center?
Yeah. So what was weird on that play is it sat at the so like there's a gap between the grass and the base of the wall. It's like it rolled, it got stuck for about 2 seconds, and then Lee goes to grab it.
Sad. So the
I
thing
thought
was,
that was
he
weird.
he pulled it out super easily. It wasn't like at times there it gets stuck in between the seams, or even in Chicago, it gets stuck behind the ivy. And you can't see it anymore. In this case, he literally just grabbed it out of like nothing. Like I think my 20-pound dog could get that one easily too. Like it was just ridiculous. And at the time, it really felt like, damn, like I think this is it. Like taking an extra run off the board is going to cost the D-backs, but it didn't because Merrill Kelly was incredible in this game. He had 7 innings. The one real blemish was the 8 hits, but he had 1 run and 8 strikeouts. He's fourth now in all time for the D-backs in wins. He has 57 wins, right behind Kurt Schilling, Brandon Webb, and Randy Johnson. He needs just one more win to tie Kurt Schilling, which it should be either Saturday or Sunday against Colorado. So, he's quickly going up in the rankings for what we would consider, like the top 4, top 5 guys in this team of all time. And, if we look at his record with the D-backs and everything he's done here, I think people could make an argument about him being a Mount Rushmore type of guy. But Kelly, yeah. So Kelly recorded his 57th career win as a Diamondback. Where would you rank Kelly all time in D-backs history?
So I feel like there's two different eras of Merrill Kelly. It was when he first got here, and he literally was one of the worst starting pitchers in all of Major League Baseball. Torrey then took him into his office and literally said, "You are the worst starting pitcher. You need to do better." And it was like a flip of the switch. Yeah, as Charles says, Merrill there's a reason he's called the mainstay. He has been here for quite a long time. And I don't think he's gonna reach Brandon Webb at 87 wins. Like that seem based on his age, he's a free agent. I'm for now, I'm gonna put him fourth just above Zach Gallen. I'm gonna keep him there at fourth. Gallen has a higher WAR at 19.3. Kelly's at 15, but Gallen's only 2 wins behind Kelly. So we know that like just with his makeup and his stuff, Gallen is a better pitcher than Kelly. But I just feel like Gallen, the last basically since the All-Star break last year, Gallen has really, really struggled. Like he hasn't been so consistent. I felt like outside of Kelly's one blemish against the Yankees, where after that start, his ERA was like 9.5. It's literally it's insane how much he's brought it down by just giving us good start after good start, quality start. So I'm gonna probably put him at fourth for now. Yeah, his ERA after this is 3.71. Like that's insane. Like 5 or 6, you can only do that at the start of the year. You literally can't do that any other time of year just because based on the number of innings. So but no, like Kelly he was painting. Like there were certain I'm like you literally like it's literally right on the corner. Like literally half on, half off. Like it was I was really really impressed with Kelly in the start. And also no cramping, no cramping. It sounds like they figured it out. Um yeah, so Gallon's at a 1 WAR right now, which is okay. It definitely needs to be better. Um, like I think they figured it out. Basically, what Kelly does in between innings is he walks around in the dugout. He does not sit down, so he just kind of keeps walking around. Um, yeah, Scott's right. We saw playoff Merrill Kelly in this start. Like I feel like the 8 hits is kind of a misleading. Like it was way better than like I know they had 8 hits, but it just felt like he pitched a lot better than that.
Yeah, and I would tend to agree. He is probably right now probably the fourth greatest pitcher in Dbacks history, which is kind of a loaded thing to say because you can always remember, some of the greats here. But when you're considering a lot of like, the innings worked and everything, it's with Randy Johnson, Brandon Webb, Kurt Schilling, uh, Zach Greinke, Zach Gallen, and Merrill Kelly. Like they're in top leaderboards of everything. Like right now, for the WAR, Merrill Kelly is number 6, just behind Zach Greinke. And I think if Merrill keeps pitching the way he has been this season, he's gonna pass Zach Greinke and he's gonna get into the 4th place. Same with the ERA, he's right now in 9th, and if he keeps lowering his ERA this season, he's gonna pass Wade Miley, and he's probably gonna be comfortable in that 8th spot. In overall in this on this team. On the win total, he's probably gonna end up at the end of the season be in that 3rd spot, and he's probably honestly gonna stay in that 3rd spot for 10 years, maybe. The only guy I can think of who might surpass that would be, I mean, if Zach Gallen stays on the team, but I think Brandon Pfaadt, just because of the
Yeah.
way he's able to rack up wins and because of how much control they have over him. So, he's going to be right there. And even same with the innings pitch, he's at 875 right now. At the end of the season, he's going to have, if obviously this is all determined by health, but at the end of the season, he's going to have 1,000 innings. So that means he's going to be 3rd right behind Randy Johnson and Brandon Webb. So overall, he is damn near top 5 in all sort of accounting stats for the Diamondbacks. And if he continues this way, if he continues to be, better, giving quality start after quality start, I think he's going to have a lot of those accounting stats to the point where at the end of his career here, I mean, he's not getting any worse. Who's to say that the D-backs don't re-sign him for, kind of do like a Kershaw deal, bring him back 1 year, 1 year, 1 year, especially because he's not reliant on speed. Who's to say that at the end of his tenure here, he's not one of the jerseys that's retired? Because I think as of now, I think he is the top D-back of all time. Obviously, there's a lot a lot of guys, but specifically pitchers, I think, just because the longevity that we have with pitchers and how much they struggle here. But yeah, I'm always willing to put Merrill, I think, in the top 5 of some of the best Diamondbacks of all time. And Tanner's asking about Hudson. It depends on what
He's
you're
at
asking.
30. So in terms of wins, he's at 32. Um, to be honest, he only had one good season in terms of win. Like everything else was decent, but he didn't have any like big seasons. Um, uh, and then yeah, obviously getting hurt all the time, like, and then he just transitioned to be a solid bullpen arm. So yeah, he's just outside the top 10 for
Yeah.
wins.
So he's just I mean, he's the mainstay. He's since that really bad first season, he's just been locking in and been able to get guys out and for the most part stay healthy. The only thing was that thoracic outlet surgery that he got and then the more recently the cramping issues that he's had. And even that, I mean, he still goes like 6 innings in those games. It's not like he's out in the third inning. He goes 6 innings, gets a cramp. So without that, I mean, who knows? He probably would be at over 900 innings right now. But we love Merrill, and it seems like the commenters also love Merrill because in this game he
Yeah.
gave this team exactly what they needed, especially coming off of a rough stretch against the Dodgers. You wanted to come out and put guys in position to win and put the bullpen in position to win, and they did. Merrill just he went 7 innings, and then so Beeks and Shelby um, got the 2 innings, and the only one that was really eventful was the Jalen Beeks outing, just because they had a runner on first, and Gurriel just made the most insane catch. And
Got
there's
you
a lot of
go.
people saying that the expected or the catch percentage was a lot higher than maybe it seemed, and maybe that's true. I haven't seen anything about it, but it did have an expected batting average of like 750. So I don't know where they're getting that catch probability from. But what, how were, how did you react to that catch? What were your thoughts
Um,
going through it?
I I got out of my chair. I'm like, Lourdes, what the hell? Like it was, and like I saw some people say it's not that great. He took a bad route. That ball was hit so hard. He just he just kept running. Like such a great catch. And as you can see on the thumbnail of this video, Josh, our producer extraordinaire, made a cool graphic. We posted it on Instagram. Lourdes loved it. So I thought that was pretty cool for kind of Josh to get the little hype on that from the actual player. Thought that was pretty cool. Lourdes, sometimes when he's on defense, it doesn't look very pretty. It's not graceful, like, but it gets the job. Like he gets the outs. It was pretty, like, it's like that throw against Baltimore where he just catches it and he turns and he, like, it wasn't a great play. It wasn't pretty. Like it wasn't like what we're used to seeing with Alec, where every play Alec makes, it's like a gazelle out there. Like he just looks like he's in his natural habitat. Gurriel sometimes looks just, it doesn't look natural. It definitely looks like he struggles out there. So, but
Yeah,
great catch.
every time you see him make a catch like that, it always looks like he's falling, or like the ball catches him in a way where he just puts the glove out, like kind of like the Sandlot. Just put your hand up and then hope
I
it lands
thought
in there.
Tori was gonna sit him on Tuesday because he kind of rolled over on his neck. But
Yeah,
obviously he probably got it checked out. Trainer said, "Yeah, it's fine, good to go." So
yeah,
it's good because he's been one of our better consistent hitters lately. So we need him as much as possible.
yeah. That was just a crazy backflip, and but yeah, it was just crazy to see that because you're just like, damn, I don't know how the hell he did that. It kind of just like that bar show thing where he just fell backwards and still caught it. Don't know how he did that, but we do have a no fly outfield, and Gurriel is a part of that. And we're talking about Alec. I mean, he makes plays look a lot closer than they should be. Like, there's a lot of times where people get mad, like, "Oh, how didn't Alec catch that?" And then you look at the expected batting average and the catch probability, and it's just like, yeah, nobody was going to catch that except he just made it look close enough that now we're upset that he didn't catch it. But yeah, and just incredible. Just I don't know
I
how he
think
does that.
another great thing about that is how long that at bat was.
Yes.
Ramos was just foul ball after foul ball after foul ball. I'm like, Jesus. Like, if I was playing MLB The Show, I'd be raging. I'm like, stop hitting foul balls. Either miss it or get it. So,
Yeah.
and like, he barreled it up, and Gurriel made a fantastic play. I definitely would say that is, personally for us, probably the defensive play of the year.
Yeah. I mean, Alex still has a lot of time to go. So if anybody has it, it's probably going to be some crazy play Alex makes. But as for the second topic, Corbin Carroll continues to do Corbin Carroll things. He struggled quite a bit in that Dodgers series, and he came out and he dominated in this series. He showed them that you can't keep a good man down for very long, and he got 2 home runs in this game. He One of the stats that came out was that he didn't get his 13th home run until game 125.
It was in
That was
August, you guys.
August 18th. He is at 13 right now. He started 13th, right? Or 14th?
So, no, sorry. This was as of Monday. He was at 13. So
Okay.
that does.
He had another one, didn't he? Right? Yesterday? Today?
So
Yesterday.
he hit. So he hit two in this
Yesterday.
game.
He had 2 in this game, but then he hit one yesterday. So right now he's, I believe,
Yes.
tied with Aaron Judge of all people for the not even the National League, the Major League home run record right now. So
There's a big
that's
height difference between the two. Like, it's
talking about like
crazy.
an entire foot and about 100-pound difference between the two of them. And Corbin Carroll just continues to smoke balls, and we complain about a little bit about him not running as much. He doesn't need to run when everything is a home run or he's on third base every single time. So, how much longer do you think that this team can continue to, I guess, rely on Corbin's offense? Because as of right now, he seems to be the main catalyst because Cattell in this game and in the second game, he just did not provide that much.
I don't know. I'm gonna say maybe a week or two or so. I mean, if you look at our schedule coming up, it's a little bit easier than what we faced so far. So maybe we can get by having like these games like a 2-1, a 3-2, a 4-2. But it definitely, like, we need some of these other guys to hit, which Gurriel's been doing it. Gino's been really good since his 4-homer game. Like, it felt like that broke him out of his slump. Like, he's not so much the type of player that we typically see. It's the 3 results: strikeout, homer, or walk. So Gino's been playing really well, and Gurriel's been playing well. But I'm gonna, like, Carroll was literally the only offense in this game. I thought it was really funny. He was on first on that Naylor ground roll double, and he saw what happened. He's like, "Screw this! I'll just do it myself by hitting homers," and that was it. He hit the 2 homers, and both opposite field. I'm always impressed when I see him go opposite field. Like, a lot of lefties don't really go opposite field that much. Carroll does it pretty well.
Yeah, and you see these sort of this offense from Corbin, and time after time and after time, you're just like, how did he do that? Because there's so many plays where you're just like, it's a little almost like a little pop up, and then it leaves a yard, and you're like, oh, he hit that 400 feet off of a ball that's like on the ground. Like, there's so much about Corbin that just doesn't make sense, and the insane power that he has is definitely one of them. I mean, he's like Altuve, but just
Faster.
overall just faster. But they with Altuve, they always talk about his wrist. He has such an insane amount of strength in his wrist. And I remember there's an interview with the lot. They made like I guess a article about the Houston players, and this was before all the scandal. And one of the things that they asked about, like, who's like the strongest person on the team, and everybody said Altuve, but they mostly mentioned because of the wrist, like how strong his wrists are. So that way, when they pull the ball, they just gotta flick him and Corbin. They just flick their wrist, and they're just able to get it out. And that's what you see from him. It's just like he starts to flick his wrist a little bit, and then suddenly the ball is gone, and it's just so impressive. And every single day you're just like, man, I'm so glad he signed that extension because this man would have gotten 10, 15 million that first year of arbitration, and there's no way he's not getting 30 million at the end of that arbitration year. And if he walks, three, four, $500 million player right there that we just got for an absolute steal. But credit to Hazen, credit to Corbin for getting that deal done when they did, because Corbin never has to worry about money ever in his life, and we can get to keep him for the next, I guess, 9 years or so. But anyways, let's move on to game two. This was a frustrating game, I think, overall. They lost 6-10, but Jordan Lawler made his debut, and Brandon Fogg was just not at this game, but we can get to him in a second. But Jordan Lawler, the stud of the D-backs, the potential rookie of the year, like nobody has really broken out this season just yet. But in this start, he went 0 for 3, I believe, and he did get a walk. But one of the issues was he did have an error on defense. He made a really slick play. The issue was he just couldn't complete it, and it's Naylor. I think if Christian Walker would have been there, he probably could have completed the play. But it was what it was. But the question is, Lawler's 0 for 3 with the walk. Or this game, Lawler was 0 for 3 with the walk. How would you rate his 2025 season debut?
Like most young players that have been in the minor leagues, they come up and they see major league pitching, and it's better than what they've seen. Like, I know everyone, like, he looked like his numbers in Reno looked really good, so I think everyone was expecting him to like just come out and rake, and just everyone be patient. Like, I saw some comment after today's game with like, yeah, send Lawler back down. Y'all were begging for Lawler to be here. He's here. He's had 4 at-bats and a walk. So can we just not jump the gun just yet? I thought it was okay. It was decent. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, this man is going to save us. We're now going to go on a 10-game win streak. It's not like it's going to take time for him to adjust. But he, like we said on our podcast on Monday, he's a 5-tool player. He's a 5-tool player. So I think we just need him to get the reps at the major league level. So based on what we've seen so far, it looks like that's kind of what the plan is. Like, he's probably going to play like 4 times a week, giving the other infielders, Marte, Perdomo, and Gino, days off. So just quick, want to give a shout out to Brett, our co-host here. He's watching with the newest D-back fan. Congratulations there to Brett and his wife there, as they did welcome baby Slade into the world. So congratulations there, Brett. We miss you here. We miss you here, good sir. So hopefully things work out, and you guys you're able to come back and join us. And so, but yeah, I'd probably give it like a C, to be honest. Maybe a B-. Like, if you didn't have the error, I'd probably put it like a B+, but like, you're supposed to be a 5-tool player, and like you don't make those errors.
Yeah, I think like I said, they talked about a little bit about Tim Tallworth, how he was rushing everything when he first came up. Just he would get the ball, just try to be as quick as he could. And Jordan, it seemed like he was trying to take his time, which is understandable. He doesn't want to rush, but it seemed like he maybe took us just a split second a little too long, and it kind of threw off his rhythm a little bit to make that throws. But it's gonna happen, I think, especially playing a position like shortstop, which he's been moving around this whole season in the minor leagues as well. Like they said, musical chairs. So it's not like he's been playing short the entire time. But again, he's young. He wants to make a good impression. He's 22 years old. He's not, like the Dodger guys who are 25 years old when they come up. So they're a lot more seasoned and ready to play. He is still very young, but this team, this team isn't looking for Jordan Lawler to save them the way they looked to Corbin Carroll to save him in 23. Is they're just two totally they're not two different players, but they're two different circumstances. And when you look at the team up and down, you have guys who are still underperforming a bit, like Jeff is bringing up uh, Gabby. He says the guy who hasn't really stepped up this season yet is Gabby. He had quite a few good hits against the Dodgers, didn't really do much against San Francisco. And, he is one of those guys that needs to get it going because we've had guys that have been hitting a lot better, like Gino, like Gurriel. They're starting to really, really step it up. I mean, they're starting to get really hot to the point where they're hitting well over 300 for the last 15 games. Gabby is still one of the guys who's really struggling right now. And Naylor, I mean, he got off to such a hot start and he has been consistent. But I think along with what everyone's saying in the comments, just the amount of guys who go up with the intention of hitting a home run. And this team is just not built for that. There's two guys on this team who should be going for home runs, and that's Gurriel and Gino. Like, that's kind of what they should be doing. But even then, Gurriel is such a good hitter that I'm fine with him getting a bunch of singles and doubles. So right now, it truly is just Gino, where you're like, just go out there and hit a home run. Everyone else should be looking to get a double. But yeah, for me, I think it would probably be a C. Like, there was nothing super impressive, like other than that pick at short. But there's nothing I think bad. He didn't have a super bad, I guess a plate appearance or and at bat. I mean, sorry, he didn't have a truly bad at bat in this game or even today. He does take a lot of pitches, which is really good, which is not what we've been seeing from this team. A lot of first pitch swinging. He was swinging the bat, I think, really, really well. It's just, there's a little bit of swing and miss there, but obviously it's going to happen. He just has to adjust. And like I said, he took quite a few pitches. He was being patient. He seems to have really good eye for at the plate. So I think if the team plays him a little bit more in this Rocky series, I think he should be able to come out of this. I can't even say it's slump or funk just because he just barely came up. He's had like 4 or 5 at bats. So
Yeah,
I think this Rocky series, he should hopefully get 2 out of the 3 games, whatever way they want to position that. But I think Jordan's going to be fine. And like I said, this team is not going to be relying on him the whole season. When you guys got guys like Corbin Carroll, who's an MVP candidate, Ketel Marte is an MVP candidate, Gino, Gurriel, Perdomo, Josh Naylor. They have guys that they probably would want to rely on first before they would even think of relying on Jordan Lawler. But I think Jordan Lawler provides us a lot of depth on this team that they sorely needed, especially on the base path. He didn't really get a chance to run in the series, but I think as soon as he gets a chance to, he's going to start running, and this team probably is going to go back to that chaos Dbacks that they were in 2023, which is something that we missed last year and something that we've been missing a little bit this year. But everybody in the comments, what did you guys think about it? Was there something that you wish you could have seen from him? Obviously, we all think he should have hit a home run, but you got to be a little bit patient with him. But I guess the more frustrating issue that we had in this game was Brandon.
So there's a couple of comments I want to go over here from.
Okay.
First one from Jeff. Highlight of the game for me was Tawa in center field. Huge for this team having a super utility guy like that. He does lead the all rookies in homers. I thought Tawa played a really good center field. Like, there was one ball that was kind of hit directly at him. He played it very, very well. Like, he hadn't played any game in center field at the major league level, and he looked really, really good. So I thought that was impressive. Brett also brings up, this is what I loved when I heard this on the broadcast today, that literally after this game, Ketel walked right over to him because I think Lawler was kind of mad at himself at the throwing error that he had, but the fact that Ketel and Domo are really trying to take him under their wing, like how they both were taken under their wing. Ketel has said that when he was with Seattle, Nelson Cruz was the guy that really showed him how to be a major league ball player on and off the field. So I think that's going to help out Lawler a lot. Just kind of let him know you're going to make mistakes, learn from them. So if you make a mistake, just don't do it again or learn from it. And I just love how Perdomo has really become the leader on this team. Like I
Yeah.
think that's been so great to see.
Yeah, and with Lawler, I think in his case is just he's gonna have to learn as he goes. Like he's gonna make mistakes, but so has everybody on this team. I mean, they're kind of the worst team defensively right now, so it's not like Jordan stands out in that sense. But back to Brandon Fott, he's kind of the reason why this team was behind from the get go. He allowed 4 earned runs in the 4 innings that he pitched. He put this team behind right away. He just did not have it today or this specific day, yesterday. There's a lot of talk about Brandon Fott's regression, regressing to the mean. There's a lot of discussion around that. Like, is he as good as he seemed early on? Um, I personally have an opinion on this, but for you, Brandon, do you think that this was just one of those games where he didn't have it, or do you think maybe the approach that the Giants had affected his I guess ability to get guys out, or do you think this is just a normal regression?
I just think he I think he had a bad day at the office. It happens to all players, pitchers and position players. They just sometimes it's just not their day. He had a lot of non-competitive pitches, just pitches that weren't even close to the strike zone. That's what I noticed the most out of this start. Like I'd be like, these guys don't like. And again, I'll one thing that's driving me nuts, and it's not just a FOD issue. It's most of the starters. The inability to put batters away with 2 outs is probably one of my biggest pet peeves. Is when you're like 0-2, 1-2 on a player, and next thing you know, it's 3-2. So now you got to make like the perfect pitch. Like they need to be able to put players away. They did say on today's game that they thought that Lawler may have been tipping pitches the way that he was like positioned and what he was doing with his
Erod,
glove.
Erod, you said
No, no,
Lawler.
no, 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 no. They said
Oh,
for
Lawler.
Fought. Yes, they were
Oh,
saying what Lawler was doing at shortstop in this game may have been, I don't know if it was tipping pitches, but like he would do certain things with his glove based on what he heard in the pitch com, and then they caught it. So then the November, oh, this is a breaking ball, off speed fastball. So that's is again, that's something that he's going to learn. It's one of those things he's just going to learn that he's up here to not do. um, so, and I'm wondering if that's one of the things that Jerry was speaking to him about after the game, because the team probably caught it, but it was probably way too late at that point. But no, I just I feel like a lot of people like they want Fought to regress. Like they're like wishing and hoping for it, which if you're a D-backs fan, why would you want one of your pitchers to regress? Like, don't you want him to continue to improve? I always find that weird. Like fans have this agenda on players, so like they want them to not succeed. And like it's not just a D-backs thing, it's all sports. Like fans just have it out for certain players, and they're like, I want to be right so bad. I don't care if it affects my team losing.
yeah. I think for me, it was just a bad day at the office for Brandon Pfaadt because there wasn't anything like you can talk about pitch tipping all you want, but he was just missing his spots completely. You would see where they were set up, and he was just hitting those outside, you know, and then not even by inches or centimeters. I mean, you're talking about 3, 4, 5 inches out of the zone where you just was not able to locate anything. And there's a lot of times where the pitch out of his hand wasn't in the strike zone. So I know there's going to be times, especially with that sweeper, it ends up on the other side of the batter's box, but it just, it has so much movement that it starts in the middle of the zone and then it just fades away into the other side of the batter's box. So he gets so much swing and miss on that. But in this game, it was just everything out of his hand seemed to not be anywhere near the zone, and the batters were just patient with it, and they probably realized it early on that he was not on his A game, and all they had to do was just kind of hold off and wait for him to make a mistake in the middle of the zone that they could crush. And one of the issues with him and a lot of the other D-backs pitchers is just not being able to put guys away after getting 2 outs. They get 2 outs, and for some reason, whatever it is, they just can't get that last out. They get so many runs scored on them with 2 outs, and with Brandon, he struggled the last time out against the Giants as well. He only went 2 2/3. He gave up the same amount of runs. So maybe there's something about the Giants that they see in Brandon Pfaadt. I don't think not necessarily tipping, but maybe they just see something where they're like, okay, like we allow off of this specific pitch, we're gonna have success against him. So I think it's just gonna be dependent if and when he has another start against them. If they do the same thing again, I think at that point, this team is going to have to figure out what it is that they're seeing on him that everyone else just hasn't seen on him so far. But yeah, I do think he's going to be able to bounce back, and he's going to go back to the normal Brandon Pfaadt that we've seen this year. And obviously, he's going to have some regression because that's just the way baseball is. I mean, even Yamamoto is starting to regress. He doesn't have that ridiculous 0.90 ERA anymore. I believe he's at 2 point some as of today too. He's allowed 3 runs. He has 2.12. Still elite, still amazing, but again, not what we saw early on. And with Brandon Pfaadt, it's the same sort of thing where at some point he was going to regress a little bit, but then at that point he just makes an adjustment. And I've said this before, I see him as an Aaron Nola guy, like a guy who's going to get about 200 innings and have about a 3.5, 3.7 ERA. Like he's not going to be a 2.5 guy. Maybe in a couple of years, he might have a few seasons in a row where he's like that. But just because of his arsenal and the amount of hard contact that he gives up, he's going to always just have a slightly higher ERA than most guys are going to. And in this game, what hurt him also was the walks. He just cannot put guys away. He was just giving too many walks. And, Pfaadt, I think, is better than that. I mean, the one issue I think with him is the whip. It's a 1.30 whip. He really needs to cut down on that. Merrill Kelly, he gave up 8 hits the other day. And I was like, damn, like what is his whip? 1.20? Nope, 1.06. His whip is so incredibly low, and it explains why he's just able to work out of jams as he really does. Like, it is crazy to see some of these splits, especially early on. A lot of these things end up coming back to earth, or even getting better as the season goes on. But yeah, I think it's gonna be fine. I don't think there's gonna be any real issue with Brandon Pfaadt going forward. Like I said, he's just gonna have any sort of little blow up starts here and there. But they did lose this game, unfortunately. They lost 6-10. And do we want to talk about Man Supply?
No, it's just gonna anger you and I and the entire chat because it's just ridiculous. Like, I swear, if I don't see a move Thursday or Friday for anybody else, like, I've calmed down a little bit. Like last night, I was livid because it doesn't make sense. Why would you do it twice in 3 days, Tori? Why would you just bring this guy in? Like, I thought he was doing it on Sunday to like save some of the guys for this series, but then you did it again on Tuesday. Like it just doesn't make sense to me why they continue. Like, do they think that he's still there? Like, even at his best, he was never he was an okay reliever. Like, are you guys hoping that he finds his 21, 22 all-star form? Because he's not. He's just not. Like, this is how Major League bullpens are. You need guys that are swing and miss. That is not him. His job is to initiate soft contact. He does not do that. Like we saw what happened like against Kyle Tucker in Chicago. Just freaking actually did it Kyle Tucker twice. Did it once here in the opening series, then once in Chicago. Like he has an ERA at like 15 and like 9 innings. Like what are we doing? Like, are you really telling me that there's nobody else in the organization that you feel is deserving? Because I do. Kyle Ament. Like, why is he not on this roster? Sorry.
Ament has been. I know you say you don't want to talk about it, but yeah, I think we're just gonna have to talk about it because I think we're all very frustrated, and I mean, there's people who've been defending him, saying that he hasn't been, and that's true. Before the season, he did have like a very high 3 ERA on the team overall, but I think it's also kind of, not the greatest stat to look at just because he always has really hot starts. He'll start the first few months, same thing with a low 2, even a high 1 ERA, and then the second half he just implodes and just gives up games. And this season he can't even do that. He can't even start off hot, and there's nothing about the way he's been pitching where you're just like, all right, he's gonna come back a little bit, like with Ginkle, because of his velo, because he's just coming back from injury. You're like, he's gonna struggle at first, and it's gonna be hard at times, but he's going to be getting better as the season goes on. With Joe Mantiply, there's nothing that indicates he's going to be getting any better. And if you look at how many times he's given up an earned run, he's given up an earned run in 6 straight games. 6 straight outings, he's given up at least 1 earned run. Like people talk about, relievers to get high ERAs. Like Kevin Giegel has a high ERA, but it's just because of the one game where he gave up 4 runs against the Dodgers. That's it. Other than that, I mean, he's given up a run here and there, but that, if he comes out and gives up a few good solid innings going forward, 2 or 3 straight games where he doesn't give up a run, then that ERA is going to drop significantly. And with say it ain't so, Joe. I mean, look at these game logs: 3 earned runs this game. Like 1 earned run, 3 earned runs, 2 earned runs, 4 earned runs, 1 earned run. That's 14 earned runs in his last 6 games with the Diamondbacks. How does this man still have a job? I'm like, I want that sort of job security when I can mess up this bad over and over again. And that's why everyone talks about the does he have compromising nudes of Lovello and Hazen? Like, what sort of love
Right?
affair is there with them? Like, oh my god! Like, I don't understand why Hazen keeps calling him up and keeps him on the team, but also Torrey just puts him in these sort of spots. Like, there's no reason why he should be coming into this game. If he comes into a game, it should be when it's a 10-1 game that the D-backs are winning, or 10-1 game where the D-backs are losing. That's it. Like, I don't understand why he's still on this team and why they haven't DFA'd him. I mean, I understand, not wanting to give up on a lefty, but like, you can't even get lefties out. Lefties are hitting 481, righties are hitting 481. He can't get anybody out. He has a 15.83 ERA. He has 8 strikeouts, a 3 whip. Like, he truly provides nothing for this team. And he had a couple good years on this team, but I think we're at the point where we don't need
this
him.
is a good one, Scott. Maybe he's got dirt on Kendrick too.
Kendrick. He must have dirt on everybody. Yeah, I mean, even with Kyle Backus has had the weirdest splits. I mean, go look up how he's been in the minor leagues. It is kind of a weird split for him. He seems to be doing better, but I think he's going to regress eventually as well. But Ament, I mean, he just doesn't give up runs. He strikes out guys. I know this bullpen is struggling, but when Jamar comes back, when Puck comes back, there's no reason why.
I mean, Puck is. I still think it's probably All-Star break or even August 1st. So that one's a bit away. But someone needs to come up tomorrow or Friday. If I do not see a roster move, I'm gonna be like, okay, like what are we doing here? Like, why are you having this man here? Because it doesn't make sense. Like, you can't
Yeah.
actually want to field a good bullpen when you have someone like that.
And I mentioned it like on Twitter and even our group chat. I mentioned is like this is kind of a punt game, and you can't tell me that it isn't. Just the way that he used them, they're down by 3 runs with in the eighth inning, 3 runs. Like that's not a lot. Like 3 runs is I think especially the eighth inning, ninth inning Diamondbacks that we've seen the way they've been able to cobble together hits in the later innings, and he gave up 3 runs instantly, just really struggled. And so at that point, it was 10-4, I believe. And they made it interesting. They got a couple runs in the ninth. But again, when you're down by 6 runs, it's a lot different than being down by 3 runs. And I think
Yep.
he just put
It's
it
a
out of
different
reach.
mindset.
And this has happened quite a few times this season where he comes in and he helps the other team extend the lead to the point where at that point, the guys are just coming out, swinging out of their shoes, trying to just end the game because 6, 7 runs, is a lot different than a couple of runs. And yeah, it was just really, really frustrating to watch this game. But luckily, we didn't have to stay bitter about this for very long because they won game 3 and they took the series. In this game, both Gino and Corbin Carroll hit a home run again. Vital Marte had 2 home runs and then was taken out of the game at some point, or I believe in the fifth inning or in the seventh, causing
Seventh,
a
I
lot of
believe. Yeah.
controversy
At the time.
for at the time, just because of when and how he was taken out, and with the bullpen struggles, it was strange to see him be taken out so early. But Erod continued to just be terrible. He only went 4 innings. He gave up, was it 4 runs? Right? Or yeah, 4 runs, I believe. Were on him, and there's times where we've defended Erod saying that his expected stats are better, and he has had a lot of issues with the defense not helping him. But I think we're getting to the point where he's just regressing to the point where he can no longer be in a starting rotation. I mean, 4 earned runs. There wasn't anything in this game where you're like, all right, he's in control, but the defense isn't helping him. But he only goes 4 innings. Then Ryan Thompson comes in. He only gives up a hit, gets a couple of strikeouts. Then Ryan Nelson comes in. He goes 3 innings. He gives up 2 runs, which isn't great. But again, it's 3 innings of work. It's not like it's just a 1 inning. And then Shelby Miller came into the game and gave
Made
up
us
a
all sweat,
run,
y'all.
made us all
Made me
sweat.
sweat in that
It
ninth.
is all clinch. Every pitch was just the amount of sweat that came out of me. Even my dog was looking at me like, "You good, bro? Like, what's up? Why is your heart rate so high?" Um, but yeah, let's get to that first topic. Erod. Erod struggled again, and he continues to struggle. How much longer do you think this team's going to keep him in the starting rotation? And do you think Nelson will take that rotation spot at some point this season?
I still think he's going to be there for a while, y'all. And unfortunately, it's due to his salary. Like, yes, like 4 innings, 4 runs, like that's not that bad comparatively what he had been doing. But yeah, Tanner asks, does Erod have the highest starter ERA? Yes, he doesn't. He hasn't given up the most earned runs. That belongs to Tanner Houck. But yeah, both are actually pretty bad. For me going forward with Erod, 5 innings, 4 earned. If we can get that, I'll take that. Like for me, that's a win. Because that's one guy. Because the other 4 guys, first of all, Corbin Barrels, it's not shade when it's a fact. I didn't do it on purpose. Tanner asked the question. Yes, I'm sorry, Red Sox Nation. I had to throw in Tanner Houck there. I'm just going by what the stats say. So yeah, I forgot to do this. But no, like for me, it's he He is a very soft contact, live on the edge guy. It's a lot like Mad Bum. And when that command starts to go and it's covering more of the plate, that's where we see what we've been seeing from Erod. I just, if this maybe a month, I don't know, 6 weeks, I don't know how the team sees him right now. Like he has ERAs at 7. Like I personally would like him gone, switched out for Nelson. We don't know how Tori and Hazen and the coaching staff kind of see him. And he's thrown 44 and 2/3 inning in 9 starts. Now he does have 52 strikeouts. He's striking guys out, but he's also giving up a lot of contact.
Yeah, that's why I'm curious about, when and if they're willing to move him to the bullpen and move Ryan up, because if he is starting to get this, or if he is getting this sort of swing and miss, I mean, it's not like he starts off bad usually. He gets pretty good couple of innings and then the wheels completely fall off in the next few innings. I could see him being a 1 to 2 inning reliever just because of how much swing and miss that he gets. Especially if you put him in the bullpen, you can throw a little bit harder than he does. Maybe could get a little bit more movement on some of those pitches. If he's not being relied upon to go 5 or 6 innings per game. But I don't, again, like you're saying, because of the money, I don't know if they're willing to do that.
They're not
I
going
mean,
to
they
put
did it.
20 million.
They tried to do it with
Either.
Montgomery, but Montgomery just got injured. I mean, you can't really help that situation. And with Erod, I think maybe a couple more starts, and then this team's gonna have to make a hard decision to just kind of eat that money and either. I don't think they're going to DFA him, but I do think they have to move into the bullpen or something and let Ryan Nelson into the games, because we can't just lose the way he's been making this team lose. This team has to be in position to win most of the time, and with their other 4 starters, they put him in position to win and to succeed. Like, they don't give up too many runs. They usually go 5, 6 innings, 3 or 4 runs, and that's enough to be able to win a lot of ball games. But when Erod comes in, he immediately puts his team behind. He gives up quite a few runs and goes 4 innings. So then at that point, you're burning up a lot of the bullpen. And the only thing I can think of with him, if they're not going to put him in the bullpen, is just maybe giving him an opener. Giving him an opener so he doesn't face the first 3 guys or even 6 guys in the lineup. Let him face the bottom half of the lineup first. He comes out in the 3rd inning, faces the bottom half, and then, in the 4th, he faces the top half, and suddenly you're in the 6th, 7th inning, and Erod maybe has given up 3 or 4 runs, but you're in the 7th inning, and hopefully this team has been able to put up some runs across the board. So then that way you're not completely relying on Erod to give you as many innings as you might need. We were discussing a little bit with Merrill Kelly just because of the cramping issues, but I think the pickle juice or whatever he's been drinking these last couple of starts has been working for him. But with Erod, I do think this team really needs to consider an opener, whether that's Ryan Nelson getting 3 innings or another guy getting a couple of innings. I do think with Erod, we have to start working backwards because he is not putting this team in position to win. And again, he puts his team completely behind. After one of his starts, you start to get a lot of scrambling in games. Like, we're lucky that we don't have to play tomorrow because quite a few guys would be indisposable for tomorrow.
Yeah. Like they've said it on the broadcast, like once a series, like there was a stomach bug going around the team for like the last month. And also they said like a lot of them are just emotionally and physically just exhausted. So that off day tomorrow is going to be huge for this team. It will be nice. And then they come home and they have I'm not saying like a easy series, but a easier than what they've had the last 2 weeks. So we'll just have to wait and see. But no, like I don't hate the idea of doing like a Ryan Nelson Erod like combine outings, whether it's you start Erod and he goes 3, then Nelson goes 3, or you do like you said, do Nelson with the first 6 outs and have Erod get the next 4 innings. Like, but again, it just depends on how the team sees what Erod's doing right now. Like, if they think that it's something that can be fixed, like mechanics, or is he like he just doesn't have it?
Yeah, and yeah, it's just frustrating. But I guess that all's well that ends well. This team ended up actually putting the winning runs on the board. I mean, I guess the issue would just be they scored 8 runs in the first 4 innings, and then were completely shut out the next 5 innings. And they had runners on, I think, almost every inning except I think the ninth, especially the runners on second. They really struggled with runners in scoring position this series, and they have been all season. Just a lot of first pitch swinging, especially with Cattell yesterday. The way he just swung at the first pitch, just the Giants pitcher was not being able to locate at all. He had 3 men on, and then just grounds out immediately to the pitcher and just ends the inning. But Marte was
That
subbed. He
that
was
was
subbed out in
frustrating.
this game. Apparently, he was removed to just a general body soreness or right side soreness. So just kind of a vague thing. I mean, he is swinging out of his shoes. That could be the
I think that's
case.
what it
I
might
think
be
that,
oblique.
yeah, I don't think there's
And
going to be any real issue. I think this team probably would have immediately put him on the IL or announced, like, all right, we're going to have to do something about it. But um, I guess something to look forward to going forward is the fact that there's a new guy in the third spot today that we haven't seen there all season, and a man was removed from there, and that was Gurriel. Gurriel has been very hot in the last 15 games. He's hitting well over 300. Let me just pull up his stats real quick. So in his last 15 games, Gurriel has 3 home runs, 10 RBI. He's batting 317, 349 with a 583 slug in. So well over 900 OPS in that time. And if you look at Pavin Smith, even before this game, he did get a few hits, which is what we've been wanting to see out of him. And I think maybe just the fact that he's no longer in that third spot is going to help him come out of that slump that he's had for the last 20 something games. But he's batting now 256, 383, but a 308 slugging for Pavin Smith, which is not what you want to see from that three hole. And he has 1 RBI that just came the other day as well. So he had 0 RBI in about 20 games straight from Pavin Smith. And so finally, Tori made the adjustment. He put Gurriel into that third spot, and it paid off dividends immediately. Gurriel had a great game. He went 2 for 5. He just was putting really good contact on the ball. And then having Josh Naylor behind him, then Gino behind them. Gino hit a 3-run bomb because these guys got on. Then Pavin was able to get a couple of it wasn't super hard hit balls, but I think one of them was a double. But he also walked and struck out, and I think it lengthened the lineup a lot more having Pavin in that sixth spot. And that's something that we talked about. It's not that we want Pavin off this team or sent down. It's just that we wanted to move down from the lineup because he just walks so much. He just doesn't get it down with runs in scoring position. He has, I believe, a 600 OPS and over 20 something at bats with runners in scoring positions. He just doesn't get the job done. He has 10 RBI on the season. We're over 40 games into the season. He has 10 RBI. Alec Thomas has more. And if you ask people who's a better player, Alec Thomas or Pavin Smith, everyone would say right now Pavin Smith, but he has less RBI than Alec Thomas does. And we're not too far away from even Jose Herrera having more RBI than Pavin Smith does. So what were your initial thoughts when we saw the lineup and we saw that Pavin finally been moved down?
Finally, I'm like, all right. So Tori finally opened his eyes and saw that yes, Pavin's doing okay, but not in the 3 hole. Like just the type of batter that he is. Like teams were just like, okay, you're really good at hitting the fastball. We ain't gonna give it to you anymore. And that's what had been really happening, I think, the last 2 or 3 weeks. Like he would get one fastball, and if you missed it, that was it. Gurriel had 6 hits in this series. He had 2 hits in every game of this series. He's like, he had his batting average at 168 on April 28th. It's now at like 229. So in just 2 weeks, he's raised it, what, 60, 70 points? And it's only going to continue to go up from there. So I think the cold stretch Gurriel thing is over, which is such a relief to see. I just hope that we're not too late with this adjustment. I don't think that it is, because we're only on May 15th. We're at, I think, we're game like 43, 44. So we're just over a quarter of the way there. Yeah, it gets kind of frustrating when you look and this team can't put back-to-back good games together. Like, they flip-flop all the time. They'll have one really good game, one really poor. Like, it's just literally since the Phillies series, it was win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. So, like, they just need to be able to put.
I think your mic went off. We just lost audio. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but yours. Can you talk?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you sound all right.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there. It's fine. But no, I mean, I was just saying, like, I just hope it's not too late. I don't think it is. We still got plenty of time. Like, I know, like, I'm the one that says, "Oh, it's not, like, it's early, and then next thing you know, it's going to be too late." So like, we're only 2 games back of that final wild card. We have an easier schedule coming, so I think we're having, like, Gino's hitting well, Gurriel's hitting well, Marte's power has come, Carroll's playing what, like, we're not having an entire, like, 2/3 of our lineup batting under 200. So
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be all right.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where, like you said, it's not too late. I think this team is going to be making adjustments going forward, and they should be, just to be able to stay competitive. They had one of the hardest schedules so far, and they're finally going to get a little bit of break. And so I do think they have to sweep the Rockies coming up in this series. But like Corbin Barrels says, it's the same sentiments I had at the beginning of this year, which is he says, I wish they would either get one solid dude to be the DH, do away with the platoon, open up a roster spot for a pinch runner, and a solid bench spot. And that was something that we brought up when this team was searching, at least we felt was searching for a DH. We talked about JD Martinez and Paul Goldschmidt, like a guy that we can consistently put in that DH spot, because we didn't want a platoon, because when you have a platoon, you're burning two roster spots instead of just the one. And most teams have a dedicated DH that they go to, and this team just doesn't. They have to rely on Pavin Smith and Randall Grichuk. And right now, Grichuk isn't hitting the best either. Like, when you're platooning guys, this is something that tends to happen. A guy gets cold because he doesn't play for 3 or 4 games in a row. And Pavin got a lot of the play time just because how many righties they faced. But as soon as they start seeing the lefties, Pavin was out for 1 or 2 games, or he would come in just to pinch hit, and then they just adjusted to him. And because of the lack of at-bats, he just hasn't been able to adjust back. And overall, I think this is a good thing going forward. I mean, it seemed really good today, and that's what I'm hoping for the next few series, that they do have a guy like Gurriel or even Gino or even Naylor in that 3-hole, guys who are able to produce runs and get RBI on the board and move runners over, because that's the thing with Pavin, just not moving guys over, just a lot of walks, especially walks without runners in position. But I don't think it's too late. You would hope it's not too late, just because of how competitive this division is, and because of how difficult this league is. There's, like you said, there's still a couple of games out of that final wild card spot, and you want to start making real progress. You want to get win streaks. Like if you're able to win 3 in a row against the Rockies, suddenly you have 4 games in a row, and maybe you pick up some ground there. And I haven't checked the score yet, but it's not like the Dodgers have been absolutely shoving against the Athletics either. But I think that concludes at
Yeah, they
least
are.
this.
It's
What's the
9 to
score?
3. It's 9 to 3
Ooh.
Dodgers.
Dodgers
So.
winning 93.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So at least the D-backs got this win. But I guess this concludes this. I guess the series recap. We will get to your question. So Red Sox Nation, I did see that question. But that concludes the series preview. I do think overall it was a very stressing series, and I sweat. I sweat a lot during some of these games and some of these situations. But overall, this team was able to put the Giants away, at least for now, and they were able to pick up a little bit of ground against them. And they're still in fourth place, but you feel a tiny bit better about where they are in fourth place in relation to the rest of the division. But Red Sox Nation, let's see. Do you have the question up or?
Yes. Red Sox Nation asks if you could pick any one relief pitcher from any team, who would it be and why?
My answer is going to be very unfortunate because we had this man on this team, and that's Johan Duran. Johan Duran has been absolutely lights out this season. He's been, there's a lot of times where you talk about guys who've been very good throughout their careers, like Devin Williams or even Mason Miller. They're not doing as well as they have in series past, but Johan Duran, 0.93 ERA in 20 games. He has 7 saves, 19 innings pitched, 23 strikeouts. 7 saves is the big one for me. Like, if we had him on this team, how many more wins we would have right now? Like, with a combination of him and J Mart, like, this team would have 30 wins if we had Johan Duran. And the reason why I brought him up, being unfortunate, is because they traded him for Eduardo Escobar. I know we like Escobar. He was a good player here, but he's not Duran. And I think this team regretted it immediately, and that's why they looked for a guy like Jamar, because they're like, oh, well, we gave up a flamethrower. That's just disgusting. We have to go find another one. And they got Frias first, and then Jamar, and one of those worked out, and the other one didn't. But at the end of the day, it is the Cleveland pitching lab. They turn guys into studs, so who knows what he would have done here if he would have been as good as he is right now.
He's with the Twins.
What did I say? The Guardians? Oh, yeah. The
Johan
Twins,
Duran is with the Twins.
Yeah, my bad. I confused both of those teams. They're the exact same team.
Which they're on a 10-game win streak right now. What the hell? Like, I don't get that one.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, when you have a guy like that in the bullpen, that you just need a couple run lead, and then he can come in and shut the guys out easily. So, what about you? Who's the guy that you would like to have on this team?
So I was trying to think as to like guys that we can actually get, or just like players that I would love on this team. So I want to go with 2. One that I would love. Yeah, my internet is, I think, crapping out here.
You're still good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. For me, Mason Miller would be just freaking dynamite with J-Mart back there. Just like J-Mart in the 8th, Mason Miller in the 9th would be absolutely insane. And then another one that I think is probably more plausible, personally, is Andres Munoz. I think he would be really, really good. So
yeah,
and I know everyone is bringing up Helsey. He is not going to happen right now the way that the Cardinals are playing. Cardinals are in a better position than we are for the playoffs right now. So I don't see the Cardinals making that move. But you never know what's going to happen in the next, 2 months.
Yeah, and we can I guess transition to the Rocky series because I was going to bring up the fact that the Cardinals went on I believe a 9-game win streak. The Twins are in 10-game. 2 weeks can make the entire season change for a team, whether good or bad. And I think they went on a huge win streak, and I think that's something that this team needs. They need to win 7 or 8 in a row because if they do, suddenly you can look up in the standings and you're second in your division. You can be first in the wild card even after a good couple of weeks, and I think that's what this team needs right now. And one way they're going to be able to do it is finally facing off against competition that isn't a combined like 620 winning percentage. So Friday, they start off the series against the Colorado Rockies, against very, very famous known pitcher TBD. He seems to be pitching a lot of games for the Rockies, and he'll be facing off against Corbin Burns. That's the first game. The second game is going to be Herman Marquez, who hasn't been very good this season. He's 1-6 with an 8.27 ERA. But we know that these 9 ERA guys can come and just destroy the Dbacks. So hopefully they're able to, put up actual real numbers against Marquez. And Zach Gallen is going in that game on Saturday, and then Sunday is Dollander, who I had a lot of hope for Dollander. I thought he was going to be really, really good because he was really good in AAA. He's in a lot of ways he's very electric, but just has not been able to put it together at all in the majors. I mean, it is Colorado, so it's going to happen. But he has 6.88 ERA, and he's facing off against Merrill Kelly. I'm calling the sweep, Brandon, because of the guys that we got going, because of the guys that Colorado has going, and their offense compared to our offense. I'm calling a sweep, and I think anything other than a sweep will be a disappointment.
So I said earlier that I'm like, I don't think that this is a easy series because Rockies did fire Bud Black on Sunday after a win, by the way. Still, I just find that super, super weird that you would do that. But this is a team that we should beat. There's no reason why all 3 of these games should not be wins. Now, I know how this fan base will react if we lose one of these games. The Padres have lost to the Rockies. I'm positive the Dodgers have also lost to the Rockies. So it is possible. I just don't think that this team should really there's no reason why they shouldn't beat this team. Like, it's not that we don't have good pitching. We have Burns, Gallen, and Kelly going in these 3 games. Yes, Giants also lost to the Rockies. It is possible to happen. And I know a lot of the fan base is not a fan of Torrey. If we lose one of these games, it is not a fire Torrey. I know a lot of you will do it because you are frustrated, which I get. It is frustrating because there are some decisions he makes, like the Joe Mantiply thing, that just feels like maybe he's ran his course. I think he gives this team the best chance to win right now. Like, if they fire Torrey, I just don't think it's going to work out. Like, if they fire Torrey, I think this team is going to struggle for the first couple of weeks. Like, everyone assumes Bannister would be a good manager. Ask Texas Rangers how they feel about Bannister as their manager. Y'all think Torrey is really big into analytics? Bannister's worse. So, sweep would be fantastic because it means we're on a win streak, but I won't be sad if they lose one of the games. Just win 2 of them.
Yeah, I guess I'm on the opposite side just because of, I guess, the competition. I mean, you have Burns, Gallen, Kelly going. I don't think there's any reason why they should lose. I mean, their pitchers are combining for like a 7.5 ERA that we're facing up against, and they have a terrible bullpen. Their offense is not very
Yes.
good. So my issue is always, how are they going to play? Are they going to dominate, or are they going to play down to their competition, which is something that we've seen throughout the season
That's
when
my
they
fear is that
play when they play
they're
against
gonna play
teams under 500, that they're just, for some reason, they play down to the competition. They're unable to put runs up on the board, and for whatever reason it is, they just can't put these teams away. And that's what I'm hoping for. That Burns can go 7, Gallen can go 7, Kelly can go 7. Save this bullpen, because the next series is against the Dodgers in Dodger Stadium, which this team has struggled with mightily, and it's a 3-game series against them. And like with the way things are going, they're going to need as much help as they can in the bullpen. They're going to have to be able to put teams away, to be able to rest the bullpen, even rest some of these guys after this grueling schedule. If Sunday comes and they get a huge lead, let's say it's 10-0 in the 5th inning, I think at that point, if Merrill Kelly's pitching a gem, you can probably start pulling some of the starters, getting them ready to get going to LA. So that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for a sweep, because again, you sweep them, you're suddenly 6 games above 500, and you start to position yourself, you're putting yourself in a really good spot. There are 2 games. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. 5 games above 500, and you're able to position yourself higher up in the standings in general. And it's not like these, the other teams are going to be facing terrible guys either. So I have higher hopes for this series. I hope I'm right, and I hope this team is able to do damage against Colorado. Any final thoughts before we get out of here?
I'm just glad that we through this 2-week stretch, we didn't really fall behind too much. I think we fell behind a little bit because Cardinals have been playing really well. They're 9-1 in their last 10. Their run differential's at 31. Ours is -4. I know that's kind of a misleading stat, but also it's a little worrisome. But just a sweep, I think, would just help the team's momentum to know that, so we can win back-to-back games. Like, that is something that we can do. So I think that's going to be big. So come on, boys, let's sweep.
Yeah, I think I feel the same. It's just, getting confidence in these guys, letting them know that it is possible to win 2 in a row. But quickly, Red Sox Nation, you're saying you guys are going to be at the Friday game. I am too. I guess hit me up on the Discord if you guys want to meet up, and so is Brandon. I don't think Brett's going to be at a lot of games anytime soon. So hit us up on the Discord and see if we can do a meetup. If anybody else is going to go, just let us know. We can meet up, chat for a little bit. We're always happy to talk to Dbacks fans and even Red Sox fans if we have to. But thank you, everybody, for joining the show. Red Sox Nation, Scott Mack, Tanner, Corbin Barrels. There we go. Charles Elliott, Jeff.
Tay Dad was in here.
I don't know if I'm missing anybody else. If I am, Tay Dad 38. I believe I know who that is, but yeah. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Be sure to like this video so it can get pushed up in the algorithm, and we'll see you guys next time when we should hopefully be celebrating a series sweep of the Colorado Rockies. Bye.
Under the lights, the game goes down. Desert heat, but we own this town. Brennan gave on the call with Josh in the back, bringing it all. Fastballs hum, the bats ignite. 9 innings deep, we fight all night. Wins and losses, highs and lows. We break it down, yeah, that's how it goes. Dbacks dispatch, turn it